Hi besties, what's up? My name is Makenzie and welcome to my channel and welcome to vlog 2 of Can I Read 30 Books in 30 Days? So, sorry about this lighting. I don't know why it looks like that. Oh my gosh. Whew, I almost just knocked over my Red Bull. I would have cried probably. I do not have the mental capacity to deal with that today. Do I look funny? I can't tell. I'll be able to tell it editing. Sorry. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. That was disgusting. I don't know where all that stuff came from. That's really gross. You can't embarrass me in front of all of my friends like this. Oh my gosh. That was gross. Ew, sickness, am I right? Okay, anyway, let's take it from the top. So, welcome to the vlog. My name is Makenzie if you're new here. I'm pretty sure I already said that, that's fine. It is the 9th day of this challenge and we have only accomplished 5 books this month, which not a bad thing necessarily. Let me explain why. 5 books is what I've been able to read January and February, and we're only 9 days into the month and I've already read as much as I've read the past 2 months, so that is a win for me. Now with that being said, I am 4 books behind schedule, so I really need to lock and load it today and try my best to read a few things. Honestly, I don't think I will be able to read 4 things today, but I would really like to try to read 3. So here is my game plan. I started Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambao, and I am 2 chapters into it. I started it last night before I went to bed. So I am on, I guess I'm 3 chapters and I'm on chapter 3. I am a whopping 20 pages into this one. So I would really like to kind of just continue on with this. I am really enjoying it so far. We haven't gotten to the meat of the story. So when my cat, dude, I don't want to let him in because he'll wake up my kid, but I don't know. We'll see. Please pretend you don't hear him for now. I will rectify whatever situation he thinks he's in after this, but I'm very excited to continue on with Watermoon. I really am liking the writing so far and I'm really intrigued to see where we go from there. So that is book number 1 on the dock today. Book number 2 on the dock is Waiting for Spring, volume 11. I really would like to read that. I think that will kind of speed up my reading a little bit. After I finish this, I will have read 5 novels, right? Yeah, this will be my 5th novel in a row. So I feel like I can break it up a little bit. I don't want to just read manga because I know that I can read 30 manga in 30 days, but I don't see an issue with me reading manga. So we're going to read volume 11 and we're probably going to read volume 12 today. We'll kind of see how it goes, but if I can manage to finish all of that, which we will see, I don't know. I think I might get back into this. Now, am I going to finish this today? I don't think so, but I could. So, we're gonna stay positive. We're gonna say, yes, girly, you will finish that. Now, I have a lot of reading to do this morning that is not going to get me any closer to my goal, unfortunately, but that is okay. We move. We will get this. We will get through this, you guys. We will get this done. It will be great. So, there's that. And then I also really need to get further into For Whom the Bell Tolls. So, we'll kind of reevaluate after I read the 2 volumes of Waiting for Spring, kind of what I'm in the mood for, because I might not be in the mood for this, but I'm already 45 pages into it, so it would be really nice if I could just kind of knock this out. I feel like it won't take me too long. So we have that. So we'll just kind of see about that. We really need to get a move on my TBR. I have 11 books on my TBR. I have read 1 off of my official TBR this month, and then I had 3 more book places that I could put something in, so I believe that I have 1 off of that list. So out of the 14 or 15 books that I put on my TBR, I've only read 2. So I really need to get a move on with that. I'm not really necessarily worried about the extended TBR. So what the extended TBR was, I guess, the last 3 books that I put on there were The Hall Gods, funnily enough, Hollow, and then I also put on Just Friends by Haley Pham, and I did read that one. So those 2 books, not necessarily top priority, but it would be nice to get through those, especially Hollow, because I am already part of the way through it and I know that I like it, so far at least. So fingers crossed that I can do that. What we are going to do first is we are going to sit down, lock in, and I'm going to finish my buddy reads that I need to do. I still have a lot of reading to do, but I think if I lock in right now, I don't think it'll be that difficult to spend the rest of the day reading. I also need to edit my TBR. iMovie literally deleted all of my stuff the other day and I was in the middle of editing it luckily it was only rough cutting, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but oh my gosh. I said, okay, this is a sign. So, yeah, I need to do that. I probably overloaded my computer with a bunch of stuff that it couldn't handle, so it is what it is. It's fine. I'm going to hopefully edit that in its completion today. So, yeah, and I have a lot of footage to comb through for that video, so that's gonna be exciting. And then obviously we also have the first vlog in this series that I need to edit as well, so I might go back and forth between the two. I don't know yet, but I don't want vlog 1 to go up too late. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it went up next week necessarily, but yeah, it's just something I need to think about. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go hop into my Betty Reads. I'm gonna lock in. I'm sorry that I keep saying that, but this is the video of locking in because I need to get ahead. I need to get ahead this whole week. I just need to get ahead anything. Now, with that being said, I know that we're switching up our schedule a little bit because Courtney and I want to finish like a bunch of books before next month because we want to go into like a huge SJM mass first reread. So, with that being said, there is a good chance that I'm gonna start finishing Betty Read books next week. We'll see, but we can cross that bridge when we get there. So let's just hop into it. Hi cuties. Okay, no reading updates, unfortunately. I feel like I am not slaying right now with the reading today, and I really needed to. So hopefully we can up the ante. I'm still not even done with like everything that I needed to get done this morning, but that's okay. I still have time. I say hopefully. Okay, so I have this. I'm really excited to open this. I wanted to hurry and open it before Steven gets home for lunch. Okay, so first we have 2 books on here. We have one that's going on to my physical TBR and one that isn't. One that I can't read right now and one that I've already read. So obviously, sorry. Anyway, this was on sale from like $25 to $30 to $10. Oh, it's so pretty. I am currently reading Lightlark and I am loving it. Okay, where did that guitar pick go that I was just using to cut stuff open with? My kid is back there sitting in a tote. I thought she would take a nap today, but you know, considering she didn't have one yesterday, but yeah, she is not falling asleep, so we'll just see what happens. But anyway, so we have the slipcase. Obviously, it's so pretty. Oh, Love Kills Kingdoms. This is so pretty. The foiled design on the hardcover, I love it. Obviously the sprayed edges, and then I don't know. You have the blue map that matches, you know, obviously the lettering of that. And then there is some really pretty character art. I don't know if it's a spoiler. Oh, no, this isn't a spoiler, I don't think. Oh, is it a... Okay, so it almost seems like it's a huge... Okay, yeah, this is definitely a poster. I'm not gonna rip it out, but I will show you. Actually, this one might be a spoiler. I don't know the context of it, but okay. These are definitely not a spoiler. It looks like this is just fan art from the series. I love this. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And then... What? Okay, I need to stop looking at that art because that was definitely a spoiler, I believe. So, I will forget about it eventually. But we have that, and that is beautiful. And like I said, I only bought it because it was $10 on Amazon. And I know that I want to collect the collector's editions as long as I continue to love it. So, yeah. Okay. Also, we have... I'm Glad My Mom Died, and obviously I read this in last week's vlog, and I really loved it. So I'm really excited to have it. In paperback, I liked this one a little bit better just because the pink on the outside instead of the yellow on the outside, but I'm really happy that I have this copy. I'm definitely going to be rereading and annotating this book. I think that there's a lot of important discussions and topics in here, so that is my little book haul. Hopefully no more books come this week. I mean, okay, no, there's one more. It's a special edition of another book, but like, yeah. So I'm really excited to have those to put on my shelves. I really need to go through my shelves. I feel like my shelves are so, I don't know, they're overflowing. And I really need another bookshelf, but I don't even know where I would put it, to be honest. If I had one out here, then I could film in front of it. So I don't know, we've talked about it, but I just don't think Oakley would leave the bookshelf alone to warrant or justify having it out here. So I don't know, we'll have to see. But if I did, I think it would help, like, the angling, obviously, because it'd probably be right here next to the TV, honestly. So I don't know, we're gonna see. I would love a new bookshelf, but if my parents ever came over and saw the new bookshelf, I think they would be upset because they don't like the amount of books I have regardless, let alone having enough to fill up a whole nother bookshelf. I think, you know, now that it's, I don't know. Anywho, that is all I have to talk to you guys about. Unfortunately, like, I am flopping today. I'm not meaning to flop today, but it's just part of the situation that I've gotten myself into. So we are going to go crazy when my daughter goes to sleep, if she ever goes down for nap. We'll see, but I will talk to you cuties in a little bit, hopefully with an actual reading update, hopefully. Good morning, pals. As you can see, it's early because the sun is rising. If I don't laugh, I'm gonna cry, honestly. So my husband actually went to go and do an interview for a job. So he woke up early, which it's not his fault, but like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to take a nap today, but that is not what we are here to talk about. I hope he does good on his interview. I will let you guys know if he does, and if he doesn't, I won't mention it again. So but I really hope he does good. Oh my gosh, Steven and I, real talk, we are so burned out, like, just in general, and it would be really nice if he could get this job, and a lot of our stresses would probably go away. We're gonna add a big one. We're gonna add some debt because if he gets this job, we're gonna have to start paying his brother and sister back, which is gonna be rough. But because they so graciously offered to let us have some money to pay for his paramedic course. Unfortunately, he's not going to be working as a paramedic right now, but hopefully he'll be able to transition either where he's at right now, which is a fire station with no paramedics, or he'll be able to work a little bit closer to home. We'll just have to see how it goes. But anyway, I didn't finish any books yesterday. I know, who would have thought? I only read for about 3 hours yesterday, and I still didn't manage to finish anything. So these buddy reads are going to, like, if Courtney is watching this, I don't want to stop them, because I love buddy reading with Courtney. I know that I talk about it in every video probably, but it is like the highlight of my week. I don't know, like posting my little videos and talking to my little friends about my little books. Like, I love that. So anyway, so our goals for this week. I figured that we were going to be finishing some books, and we will be finishing 2 of our buddy reads. So the first one that I don't have with me right now because I couldn't find any of my copies because my bookshelves are a wreck. I will not show you guys out of respect for myself, but they are a mess. But we are going to be finishing Fourth Wing? Yeah, by Rebecca Yarros. It's a reread for me. I read it for the first time, I believe, at the end of 2024. Can't believe it's been that long, but we're gonna finish it. I'm really excited to finish it. And then we are going to read half of the pages left in Iron Flame as well. Courtney is going to send me the exact chapters, but I'm going to have to read that as well, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's about 150 pages. And then we're also buddy reading Manacled, Alchemized, and Blood Mercy this week. So we aren't going to be finishing all of those. Oh my gosh. We still have about like 1,000 pages, not 1,000 pages, but we still have like 800 pages left of both Alchemized and Manacled, I'm assuming. So yeah, and I'm loving those, by the way. Oh my gosh, I know that I'm not like talking about them very much, and you may be like, Makenzie, why are you like basically reading the same book at like same time? Because I think Manacled and Alchemized are pretty similar in my opinion. We're reading them at the same time because it's fun. Because it's fun. Like, we're having a good time. So anyway, the other book, the one that I'm actually gonna sit down and finish today, is Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. Now, this has been a long time coming. As you can see, I literally have like 3 chapters left, I'm pretty sure. I'm on chapter 17, 370, and I'm gonna be finishing this. This will be book number 6 of the month, I believe. Now, just before anybody, hold tight really quickly. We aren't counting this towards Realmathon. I don't feel like that's fair. But we are going to count it towards the 30 and 30 because obviously I'm going to be finishing it this month, and I want to do that. So with that being said, this is the first book that we are going to finish. I'm going to try to finish this today. I was also going to try to finish Fourth Wing today, but I don't think I'm going to do that, only for the pure fact that I will not have as much time tomorrow to read as I do today. And I don't have like a ton of time to read today necessarily either, but I figured it would be a better use of my time if I finished this and then continued on with Watermoon, most likely. So that's what we're going to do. I feel so sad that I wasn't able to complete Watermoon yesterday. It was just, I read the rest of our buddy read chapters and I talked to Courtney all day, and then I don't know, by the time we got done, it was basically time for me to go to bed. So like talking about everything, because we do a lot of books at the same time and it's really fun. I really like it. So anywho, with all that being said, the rule of thumb that I have for myself, if I have over half of it left, I will count it towards Ramathon. I think that that's the rule anyway, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe you have to start and then finish books during the readathon, if that makes sense. But yeah, this isn't going to count towards Ramathon, unfortunately. And then the my reread of Fourth Wing is most likely not going to count towards it. I'm pretty sure I have like 80, let's see, I'm like 80% of the way through, so I have 20%. So that definitely does not count. That means we probably have less than like, we probably have about 150 pages left of that one. So yeah, I figure I would finish Fourth Wing tomorrow after work. I feel like that'll be the best idea. I will say I need to start going to bed earlier because I am like exhausted. If you guys can't tell, I'm just like, I feel beaten down a little bit. I don't know. I probably should have taken like an extra day off this month sometime, but it is what it is. Hopefully, maybe next month I can take a little bit of time off. I don't know. I don't know what I'd take time off for, but I could. I probably won't though. Anyway, sorry. Brain tired, but going a million miles a minute as per usual. So, I don't even... Goodness gracious. I will synopsize this book for you after I've had time to like wake up. My caffeine has had time to run its course and I finished it, if that's fine with you guys. But this book is an interesting situation. I have liked it well enough, the first like 50% of the book. Honestly, the first 75% of the book. I'm not saying any shade or anything, but I liked it, and honestly, like, I liked it well enough to continue on with it, but it was almost going to be a DNF for me. And now, like, obviously we're almost done with it and I really like it, and I'm really excited to read the second book. I think I'm gonna like the second book a lot better than I like the first book. It's just like, I don't know, I think too, this book is really hard in some aspects to read because the writing is very like dry. Like, this is no tea, no shade to Jeanette McCurdy, but if Jeanette McCurdy wrote a fantasy book, it would be like this. Like, it would be pretty dry, it'd be pretty straightforward, straight to the point. But I feel like you don't really know what's going on until you read the whole book, which I can see how it's very frustrating to a lot of people because I know a lot of people DNF this book, but I'm glad that I read it and I'm really excited to reread it actually. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna be rereading it anytime soon, most likely, but I'm really excited to reread it. After I finish this, I'm going to treat myself by ordering the second book in this trilogy. I think I'm gonna order them as we finish them, so I'm really excited about that. We probably are not gonna start Flamefall until next month, I'm assuming, but I don't know. I'll have to ask Courtney on that one. But I'm really excited. I love this cover too. Like, how pretty is that? I'm really glad that I was buddy reading this one. I do feel like I did it a little bit of a disservice. I feel like I was listening to it kind of flippantly throughout the reading process. So even though I was discussing it and I knew what was going on, I feel like I could have been more immersed in the story, to be honest. So yeah, this is kind of a book that you probably need to either immerse and read or just read with your eyeballs. Not saying that the audiobook is bad because I really like it, just stuff like that. So anyway, we're gonna do that, and then as soon as I finish that, I'm gonna go into Watermoon and we're gonna try to read some more of that. I don't know, and then we're gonna kind of figure out where to go from there because I really do need to grab the bull by the horns and finish at least 2 things today. Like, I know that seems pretty overambitious considering I work tonight, but we'll figure it out. So I will talk to you cuties in a minute with my final updates and my final rating of Fireborn. This is gonna be a hard one to rate, I'm just gonna warn you right now, but let's go get comfy with my heated blanket on the chair and we're gonna dive into Fireborn for the next hour and finish her up. Shoot, you guys. What is Fireborn doing to me? Oh my gosh, I look really rough this morning. Oh gosh. I'm like puffy because I didn't get enough sleep probably, but what is Fireborn doing to me? Okay, I know that you guys don't know the context of this, but it's a quote that made me cry actually, and now I can't really see anything, but to the ends of the earth I will protect you. And like, I know you guys don't know the context of the quote. Oh, I wasn't expecting that to make me cry. Just in the context of what that quote is in, it's so powerful and like so like just it's so powerful. And oh gosh. Whew. This book. I feel sad for everybody who DNFs this book, honestly. Like, I don't say that very often about books because I think that there are a lot of books for a lot of people out there and vice versa, obviously, but like, wow. Anywho, there's someone outside honking their horn. I'm gonna go look outside, but sorry, that's why my heart is literally racing. Why are people honking outside? And it's like 4 or 5 honks back to back. One sec. I'm gonna go look outside. Hey besties, what's up? I figured we needed a change of pace, and Oakley's watching her baby video right now, so figured it would be nice to just take a deep breath and have a change of pace and scenery, because I do film my vlogs mostly in the same spot every day just because it's easiest. But yeah, if you're new here, this is Dobby's, or Diablo, my little guy. I love him. He's gonna get comfortable and then I'm gonna get up in about 10 minutes, but it's fine. So I lay down. I came here to tell you that I finished Fireborn. Oh, okay, whatever. This book has elicited a bunch of emotions out of me. In fact, it made me cry this morning, which I was not expecting, but let's talk about it. So Fireborn follows our main characters Annie and Lee, and Annie and Lee are in this prestigious university in hopes to become dragon riders, to kind of enter into this regime of dragon riders to protect their, I want to call it a kingdom. I don't know if it's a kingdom queendom situation. I don't know what it is, but basically to protect themselves and the people that they love. And Lee and Annie, while being best friends, are also both fighting for the chance to become like head dragon rider. And at the beginning of this book, Annie finds out something about Lee that could really alter and change the course of their relationship and friendship, and even maybe who becomes the top dragon rider, who is the one that is put in charge. So this book is really good, and I will say this is the type of book that if you don't like it halfway through, because that's kind of how I felt. I wanted to DNF it. I was like, I'm not really getting this, and it took me until I finished the book. And as you get further and further into the book, things start getting explained. You start seeing little hints and little, like, I don't know, just little things that lead up to the big, like, the ending. And yeah, this book is really good. I will say, like I said, like when I was first talking about it this morning, the writing is pretty dry. I'm not gonna lie. The dragon rider and dragon bond that we have in here is kind of, it's different. The riders can talk to their dragons, but the dragons cannot talk to the riders. I don't know if the dragons talk to one another. I don't believe they do, but I could be wrong. Yeah. We also like delve into the complicated feelings when you start like falling in love with your best friend, and you might not know if they reciprocated or not. Let me tell you, there was a certain line in this book that made me start tearing up, which I was kind of not expecting from this book. Let me see if I can find the exact quote. Sorry. And this is all about a context thing, because this quote out of context is a really great quote, but that's not what made me like cry. It was like the whole lead up to this quote being said, and this whole book made me cry. I should have highlighted it. I want to go back and reread and annotate this book actually, and I'm honestly, you guys, I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it, because I think that there are a ton of things that I missed. I found the quote. I think there are a ton of things that I missed while I was reading it. This is a book that you really need to pay attention to. It's not like it's an easy, fast read, but I will say that you really need to pay attention. You need to lock in. And I'm not gonna lie, we've been reading it for so long that my synopsis is kind of hazy, and everything is just a little bit hazy just because we've been reading it for so long, but that's not a bad thing. Anyway, so the quote is, "To the ends of the earth I will protect you." And like, it's the context of the quote that made me cry. It is not the quote itself, right? Even though that is a wonderful, like, perfect sentiment for Annie and Lee's relationship, it's just like, yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, this is the best. Like, I really love this book. I rated it 4.5 stars. The more I think about it and the more I talk about it with you guys, I think I should up it to 5 stars, but I don't know. I might start a reread like today. I'm not gonna lie, I might sit down and read a chapter every day and annotate it and go ham. I kind of like, I have this idea in my head of something that I want to do. I've never done a thing like this in my life, and I don't want to tell you guys because the thing that I'm thinking about involves another person and I don't want them to know, but I don't know, I'm thinking heavily about something. This is also really special because this is the first book that me and Courtney have buddy read that we have finished. We buddy read a ton of books with each other and we go very slowly throughout all of them, but yeah, this is the first book that we've actually finished. I think the book that started it all, if I'm not mistaken, well, the books that started it all really were Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Crescent City 1, and Crescent City 2, and then we've kind of built out from there. But this is the first book we finished, and you know, it's just, this book is wonderful. I really like it. I'm really glad that I finished it and pushed through. Because Courtney, the whole time we were reading the book, I was like, girl, I don't know if I can read this. I don't know if I can finish this. I might have to DNF. And she was like, just hang on, Makenzie, just hang on. Be patient. Just finish it with me. And now all I want to do is sit down and read the second book. So I did order the second book. I'm going to be annotating that as I read. I think what could be fun if I go back through and reread and annotate this is if I have 2 different like highlighters for each character. I see highlighters that I want to use, but I don't know. Those highlighters are kind of like, I bought them really cheap off of one of those cheap websites, and some of them don't really work. So I don't know if I could use those, but I really liked this book. I'm really glad that I finished it. There were a lot of really like powerful moments in this book. This isn't like, you know, I wouldn't even call it a fantasy romance to begin with, but this isn't like any book that I've really ever read before, actually. And I know that a lot of people have said that this or Fourth Wing, like they're rip-offs of each other, and I don't think so. There's a lot of ripping off of other books that people seem to think is happening, and I don't know, but anyway. I really highly recommend this. I really liked this book. I really loved this book, really, is what it comes down to. And I'm excited to get into the second book. We are going to start the second book this week, but we aren't reading that much. I wish we could read like 10 chapters of it. That'd probably be the whole book, knowing how long the chapters are. So you should definitely go pick this up. Okay, so after I finished that, because it took me longer than it should have to finish it, but it didn't take me super long to finish it. So right after I finished it, I started on continuing with Watermoon by I can't remember the author's first name. Samantha Soto Yambao, I believe is her name. And I am enjoying that book as well. I'm very intrigued to see where we go with that one. I'm about 80 pages in, I believe, and so far we follow our main character, and her name Lily, I think. I believe her name is Lily. And Lily and her dad have owned this pawn shop that you can basically sell regrets to, and it clears your conscience and you can usually go on with life. And at the beginning of the book, we find out that Lily's dad is retiring and he is giving the shop to her. So because of that, Lily has needed to know the tricks and the trades of hi baby tricks and trades of the business. And the first day that she wakes up to become an owner of this pawn shop, she wakes up and her dad is gone. And so it's one big ploy, not only to figure out where her dad left, but she's pretty sure he left on purpose, and that there's something that he needs her to know that he can't come out and say. So so far I'm liking it. Mommy. Hi baby. We're gonna go back out in the living room. Give me like 2 more minutes. So far I'm liking the writing. I'm very interested in the characters, because we also have this character that we really don't know much about at all. He just kind of shows up, and we are also learning his story and kind of what led him to come to this pawn shop in the first place. And I'm intrigued by his story. I'm intrigued by, obviously, like I said, I believe her name is Lily. I hope I'm not wrong, but I'm really intrigued by Lily's story as well. So I'm gonna go. We're gonna continue on with it. I'm really excited to just really get back into the reading spirit this week. Finishing this, even though it was only like 75 pages, I believe it could have even been less. I don't really remember. 17. I'm not doing the math. I've already done too much math this morning, but that was like a good precursor to the day, is me waking up and starting off with the book. So what I'm most likely going to do right now is I'm going to take like a 30-minute reading break, and I'm gonna watch a YouTube video or scroll on Instagram or something, and then we're gonna jump right back into Watermoon. My goal is to get at least halfway through it today. I'm hoping that I can finish it before I go to work. We'll just see where the tide takes us, I guess. With all that being said, I will talk to you guys in a little bit, hopefully with some more Watermoon updates. Hi besties, what's up? It is Thursday, and I was gonna do a little mini like 24-hour readathon where we just finish the books I'm in the middle of. We'll see if that happens. But that is not what we are here to talk about. We are here to talk about Watermoon. So I don't remember when the last time I talked to you about this was. I think it was probably right when I started it. I have about 120 pages left. I am on chapter 40, page 244, and I'm really liking this book. I will say, I'm really liking the writing, I'm really liking the characters, I'm really liking the world that we're in. I think it's really fun and really interesting, and I'm really liking the writing. The writing is beautiful. I feel like it's really good. I believe that this is Samantha Soto Yambao's first book, and I think it is just, like, it is very well written. I will say, the only kind of like qualm I have with it, if you can even call it that, is I feel like there are some points in this book that need a little bit more exposition. I don't know. And we aren't getting that. And that's okay. I think this book is written the way it should be. But I do wish there was that little bit more exposition that I kind of feel like this book needs. Because there are scenes in the book that feel repetitive because there's more telling, not showing. Because they are looking for, I believe her, Hana. Okay, I think I was calling her Lily. I don't know where I got that name from. I'm sorry. Hana. Where they are like looking for Hana, or Hana's dad, I guess. Where they are looking for Hana's dad, they have to kind of go about her world and ask people that she thinks her dad would have seen before he vanished, and they have to tell these people the whole story. Now, I'm not saying that she needs to tell everybody the exact same thing multiple times, right? But we aren't even really getting their reactions as they're telling the story. Like, you know, we aren't really getting their reactions. We aren't really getting to see what these people really think of the story as it's being told. And I really wish that we could get that. Overall, though, I am very, very happy that I'm reading this book. I'm really, really liking it. So, I'm going to finish it. I have about an hour and 20 minutes left of the audiobook, I believe. So, we're going to finish that. And I also have an unboxing for you guys really quick. I got a special edition of a book that I'm really excited to see. I'm really excited to show my friend. We are buddy reading this book together, and I think she really wants to see it, so I will probably show her as soon as we get done here. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can open this. I can't open it, Oakley. Oh, okay. Can you get my ring for me? No, that'll give her something to do. Sorry about the box. I just am not putting my child on the internet. But here it is. Yes, I mutilated the box, that's fine. So we have Lilac Library. Oh, we have a little art print, which was damaged. I am not hopeful about this book. I'm going to be honest. I feel like it's going to be a little bit damaged, but we're going to see. I hope not. Oh, you want to spray? Yeah, it's a little bit damaged. It's okay, though. Like, it's fine. At least, like, the very tip top of it is. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wait. Okay, me being pissed about the paper that it's wrapped in to keep it safe. Okay, sorry. I thought that was the cover, and I was like, you've got to be joking me. Okay, no, actually, the book is in pristine condition. I got the Lilac Library exclusive edition of Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Here she is in all of her glory. Those pages are beautiful. Ooh, this end art, or this, yeah, whatever. Words. Ooh, that's pretty too. Okay, was there? No, there was not, but look at that. The wolf. Oh, that's really, really pretty. The quote on the back says, because she is moonlight, the mist that shrouds the mountains, the bite of electricity in the air before a storm, the smoke that rolls across a battlefield before the killing starts. You have no idea what she could be. She could be, oh, you should call her Majesty. This is a really pretty special edition. I am very, very excited to continue on with this series. Like I said, it's a buddy read. I don't know how far we're into it, but I'm very excited to show Courtney this. Oh, it's so pretty. And like, I don't know if my phone is really picking it up. I hope it is. But look at that, like, foiling on the end pages. That's so, and I love the foiling border around here. Ooh, this is so pretty. I'm so excited to get further into this book. I hope, well, I was about to say, I hope we can finish it before Brimstone is released. Yeah, just take a moment. Just take a moment and realize why what I said is wrong. Because Brimstone came out last year. So, hopefully, we can get to it sooner rather than later. Because I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm really liking Quicksilver. So, that is all that I wanted to show you guys and talk to you about for now. I'm going to go. gonna finish Watermoon. Hopefully I continue to like it. Oh, did I really even show you this? I think I did, but yeah, that's pretty bent up. That little foxy is so cute. I'm not really that worried about the art print. That's not why I bought it, and it's kind of on flimsy material a little bit, so I'm not really surprised it got damaged. But anyway, ooh, I didn't even show you guys. Look at that. Ooh, look at the butterfly. Sorry if you're afraid of butterflies and I'm showing you this, but ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, I love this. Okay, now I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys when I finish Watermoon. My hair is leaving something to be desired, but that's okay. You guys, I finished this this morning. I actually literally woke up and immediately started reading this as soon as I woke up, pretty much, because your girl is a changed woman, and I'm gonna start breaking my phone at 9:15. I want to get to 8:30, but like last night I didn't want to get off of YouTube until 9:15, so I didn't. But yeah, getting bricked out of my phone at 9:15 until 10:30 the next morning, and I stuck to it. I did stick to it. I thought you can go unbrick yourself at any time. And did I stand up from my chair and go and do that? No. And was I in the kitchen multiple times where I could have done that? Yeah, and I didn't. So I'm proud of myself there. But you're telling me that there are people in this world who do not like this book? That is so crazy to me. Like, this book is so good. This book is so good. Now, I do understand that I think that there might be a little bit of, like, not a misunderstanding of what this book is necessarily, but, like, I think people go into it expecting something different than we kind of get. So, obviously, first of all, I want to say I, like, totally screwed up on the main character's name. I don't know where I got Lily from. I think I'm getting it confused with a different book, but I can't think of another book where the main character's name was Lily that I read recently. So I don't know where I got that from, but Hannah, the main character in this, really goes through, like, this journey, and I think there's a lot of character building personally in this book. A lot of people think that the characters are 2D and the romance took away from the book. I don't think so. Although I will say I'd be hard pressed to believe that I'm gonna sit here and tell you that any romance takes away from any story for the most part. But this writing was so wonderful. The world that we were in, I really loved the world that we were in. It was very interesting. We really, like, explore the dichotomy of kind of doing what we know we should do and doing the right thing, if that makes sense. This book also kind of, like, teaches us about, like, well, you know, it talks about going after something or trying to find something that is lost that, you know, honestly, maybe it was better if it stayed lost. And, you know, two different worlds collide in this book. We have a human being who has never felt fully accepted, and then we have Hannah, who is, I mean, she's inheriting this pawn shop for people with regrets, to, you know, sell their regrets to her, and that is a very heavy, burdensome task to anybody, and we don't see a lot of that in this book. And I do think that that might be where this kind of loses people, if I'm gonna be honest. I think that I even went into it expecting, like, okay, hey, we're gonna see this girl kind of, I don't know, buy people's burdens, and we didn't get to see that, but that's okay. We got to see enough of it that I'm, like, satisfied. But, you know, at the heart of this is, like, really a study on, like, what do you do when you feel like everything that your world has to offer you is lost to you? And I loved this. I loved the writing. There were so many times that I wish that, like, I just wish that I had sat down with this book and annotated it and, like, really took my time with it, because this is a book that just, like, you need to take your time with it if you're gonna read it. Now, obviously, like, I finished it over the span of a few days, so it wasn't like I was reading it, like, all in one sitting necessarily, but I really, really liked this. So I'm glad that I got to pick this up. I know that this was, like, one of the two main books that I wanted to get on my March TBR, so I'm, like, good on me for actually reading it. Oh my gosh, I cannot, like, so sorry. I cannot take myself seriously with my hair doing whatever the heck it's doing. Hello. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right, next, let's talk about, I don't know why I keep starting these long books knowing that I'm not going to finish them. But I did read the first 2 chapters, or reread the first 2 chapters of Binding 13. I have never read this book before, but I have read the first few chapters. I don't know. I guess I'd have to look at my like other copy that I have, because I was annotating in that copy, and I just had this on my piano because I wanted to show it in a video because I love this. This is the special edition. This is like not my most prized possession, obviously, but like this is one of my most prized book possessions that I have, because I know that a lot of people want this book and I'm very grateful that I have it. So I'm liking this. I will give you more of an in-depth synopsis when I'm like halfway through, maybe, because this is not the main focus of the rest of the day, obviously, because there's no way I'm finishing, like, you guys, it's probably going to take me about 14 hours to read this book, listen to it, you know, so no way that's going to happen. So I should have brought it over here, but I started the Archived by B.E. Schwab right after I finished Watermoon, and I am about 100, no, I can't be 100 pages in, because I'm about 20% of the way through, I would say, and I am enjoying it so far. So if you don't know, okay, first, I'm gonna be talking about a character named Makenzie. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the character with my same name. But in this book, we follow our main character, Makenzie. And Makenzie has been, like, kind of dropped into this very interesting life, some may say. She was really close with her grandpa, and her grandpa was actually somebody who would go and hunt down lost souls and kind of help them get to the other side, if you will. And basically, he trained Makenzie to do this for the rest of her life. He wanted her to live on, or like continue his legacy. So she seemingly specializes in helping little kids get to the other side that may be really confused. I believe she's about 16, 17 in this book. I could be wrong, but that's kind of the vibes I'm getting. But something else really tragic has unfortunately happened in her life that has led her to not only, like, her grandpa died of old age, but she's also lost someone else that is very important to her. And unfortunately, because of this, her whole family is grieving, and honestly, her mom and dad aren't grieving in the way that she would prefer them to grieve, and she is just chasing the feeling of seeing this person again, because even though she can remember her grandpa perfectly well and he's still a very strong picture in her mind, she feels like she is losing a grasp on this other person that she lost. Like, she's forgetting what their smile looked like, what they looked like, you know, stuff like that. And she's just really trying to get the sense of them back in her life, if that makes sense. So I think this is going to be like a very sad book. Like, I'm really scared of it, to be honest, because, man, I know it's not the same thing, right? But okay, I think I can tell you, I don't think it's a spoiler, she lost her little brother. And for those of you who don't know, my brother's fine, he's great, but a few years ago he got in an accident that could have, and honestly, like, if all the other aspects that were usually in play were in play that year, he would have died. And so reading about a little brother that passed away is really harrowing, and just like, it kind of hits a little bit close to home for me, a little bit. Luckily we're a little bit more removed from the accident that happened to my brother, so it's not like the wound is, you know, scarred over, but you can still see the scar, if that makes sense. So, you know, hopefully that doesn't rip the scar open, if you know what I'm saying. And it's very interesting because obviously, like, there are some accidents that you get up and walk away from, and they don't really have like a super long lasting effect on the people that are in them, you know. So what, you total a car, you know, like, eventually all of that stuff just kind of fades away and it may not matter too much. But because of what Makenzie does, she's constantly reminded of her little brother, and because of my little brother's accident, he's actually paralyzed from the waist down. So there is evidence of his accident every single time we see him, which is fine now. It's fine now. It's just like, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's just interesting, right? But yeah, how all of these books have to do with effing grief, honestly, I don't understand what is happening. Like, heavy bullying, losing a parent, hitting myself in the face, cancer. What's the other book that I am reading that has cancer in it? Like, how does this keep happening to me? But anyway, that's going on. And then I should also tell you that I am reading Love Song by Elle Kennedy. I am loving this book so much. so much. I'm so grateful that I got an ARC. I need to lock in and actually finish it. I'm thinking that I know that I talked about doing a 24-hour readathon today, and I really should have done that, but I didn't. There's just like, is there a good time to do anything right now? No, probably not. But I don't feel like there's a good time to do this 24-hour readathon because I can't do it on Monday, which is when I would normally do it. But that's when I talked to my friend about our buddy reads. Sorry that I keep bringing it up. It's a big point. It's a big aspect of my life. But yeah, I am loving everything I read. Oh, I didn't even tell you, 4.75 stars. I really loved this. I want to sit down with it and take my time and reread it again and annotate it front to back. I would love that. I am in such an annotating mood and I haven't been doing it, and I probably need to. I feel like that would like scratch the itch that I have right now. It just takes so long, and I have to be so strategic with when I do annotate. I can't be at home alone, or else my daughter, bless her heart, sees me annotating and thinks, oh, you know what would really help mom out if I helped her annotate. And then things like this happen. Let me show you. Okay, besties, before I show you this, you're gonna have to take a deep breath, say, oh, it's okay. This was my busted up copy anyway. I have a different copy that's in pristine condition. We have alchemized here. You can see I was kind of like, you can kind of already see like right here, we have this. That's fine. That's fine. We even have this beautiful work of art, which also a fine. Like I said, I actually got this from Amazon and it was already like busted. I'll show you that the seams were completely like broken from the spine, so I'm not really too worried about it. But like, you needed your daily dose of birth control, there you go. And like I said, like I was more like pissed off that she found a marker to begin with, because I wasn't even annotating with a marker as far as I can tell. Let me just make sure, because I could be wrong, but she like unzipped. Yeah, no, I was not annotating with a marker. It looks like I was, but I was not. In fact, yep, it was just like little brackets and stuff. I probably was gonna sit down and do an annotation video actually, which I've never done before, and now we see why. I have to keep this book forever though. Like I really just need to frame this, because again, like this book was busted when I got it. Like, look at that. I was supposed to return it, which now I'm glad I didn't, because this could have been my actual copy of Alchemized that she did that too, and I would have been very, very sad. But daily dose of birth control. She's done this to a bunch of my books, unfortunately. I tried to keep everything away from her, but she sniffs markers like a hunting dog sniffs birds. Like, she knows where those markers are, even if I don't know that there are markers too, which is weird. Like, so I have to keep my eyes out. But I think what I'm gonna do, because she's down for her nap right now, what I'm probably going to do, I really need to edit a video. My TBR video is still not up, and it's like the 13th today, or is it the 12th? It's somewhere in there. And man, I don't honestly, can I be real with you guys? My iMovie completely crashed. So I was halfway through editing like the first part of my TBR video, which was supposed to go up today since it's Thursday, and I think Thursdays are gonna be my upload days. I haven't really fully gotten that down yet, and I don't want to like promise that I'm gonna upload every Thursday and then not upload every Thursday. Like, that's not the goal. But yeah, so my iMovie crashed. It deleted all of my projects. I had to redo everything, which luckily my outro and intro I just have saved on my computer anyway. And you know, it's probably a blessing in disguise, because the intro music that I used to use is unfortunately not on thematic anymore, so I don't have the rights to use it non-copyright as of the 1st of January. So all my videos have been getting copyright strike. They all have like a copyright it's not a copyright strike, it's more like a copyright warning, because I know that like you get too many strikes for copyright reasons, your channel gets deleted fully. Luckily that hasn't happened. I probably do need to cut the intro out of some of my videos though. I wish that I could like go in and just like add the new music on top of it, but I don't think I can. So yeah, if you notice that in this video and my past videos the music has been different, I'm sorry. I also hate change, but it is what it is. I will probably have to change up my intro and outro music, as long as I'm using copyright free music, probably for a while, so every so often, which is fine. So yeah, other than that, that's really all I have to talk to you guys about right now. Oh, actually, I got a package in the mail and I'm really excited about it. You guys, I cannot tell you how bad I want to read this book right now. I will not read it because I say it with me, a buddy read. But sorry, I know. I know. I say buddy read the amount of times in my video that I say like, probably. So sorry about that. I'm so excited for this book though. This book, I'm calling it right now. If the first book managed to claw its way up to a 4.5 star, I know this book is gonna be an all-time favorite. Like, I just have an inkling, I have a gut feeling that I'm gonna love this. This book is pretty big too. I'm so excited. This book is 483 pages and I'm so excited. This is the biggest plot twist of 2026. Can I just say, like, I cannot believe how much I loved Fireborn. And I don't mean this in like a negative way necessarily, but I think Fireborn is unfortunately a book that you really have to read all the way through before you can kind of like articulate your full thoughts. And I think that's why a lot of people end up DNFing it, because it's like a very slow, meandering plot that's like, you feel like maybe you aren't getting anywhere, or like her writing is very dry. And I don't mean that in a negative way, just like, it's not a writing style I'm used to, but the way that I want to start Flamefall and like read the first 100 pages right now, just sit down and read it, that'd be wonderful. I wish I could do that, but I'm probably, honestly, I just want to journal, so maybe I'll just go and work on my bullet journal right now. And I don't know, maybe I don't know, my spreads take me forever to do, so I was gonna say maybe I'll do like a spread and then edit for 10 minutes and then a spread and edit for that's not gonna happen. So, but I at least need to get my video rough cut, because yeah, I have an hour of footage for my TBR video. Also, I did want to say, I didn't realize this when I was posting my TBR on Instagram, but Binding 13 is supposed to be on my TBR, and I forgot to download the picture and put it on the little graphic that I'm gonna probably share to Instagram quite often. So if you see that my graphic has changed just slightly, that's why. I might like do an updated one because I forgot to put Binding 13 on there. It just was like out of my mind, honestly. But yeah, what I most likely might do, I don't know, it's hard because these audiobooks are also split into 2 parts, so it's like I'm spending like double the money. Like I need to spend any more money. Don't ask my husband, okay? Just don't ask him. Yeah, I'm very excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Just so excited. I'm so happy that I'm feeling back to myself. I know that I kind of like talked about it in my TBR, and even like, let's be real, guys. I'm like 7 books behind schedule right now. And even if I don't complete the 30, I guess it should be 31 and 31 because there's 31 days this month and I don't know how to tell time or tell how many days are in a month. But even if I don't complete this, like, you guys, just the fact that I feel this way about reading, again, is so exciting. And that's not to say that I read bad books and I didn't read any 5-star books at the beginning of the year, but like, I don't know. And my newfound happiness is making me want to write again, which is not ideal for wanting to read like 31 books this month. But I don't know. I'm just very grateful right now. I'm very grateful to be out of my depression haze. I'm very grateful that I deleted TikTok. Never thought I would say those words, but I am. I'm very grateful that I deleted TikTok. It's no longer in my life. And I had a Facebook account and I deleted that because I was wasting too much time on that. And if I didn't need Instagram, like I feel like I need Instagram and this. If I didn't need Instagram, that would be the next thing to go. So I don't know, you guys, like I'm really happy with life right now. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. You know, the world is on fire around me. I know that people are going through some really heinous stuff. And so there's a little bit, like, not even guilt associated with me feeling happy. Just like, I realized how privileged I am to just have the relief of knowing that I'm not stuck in my depression pit of hell that I have been for the past couple months. So yeah. And you know what? It is important to remember that despite what is happening in the world and despite the world being on fire, you can still be happy and find happiness in whatever you choose to. So that's just a little reminder for you guys. I know that it can feel very like guilt-inducing and just like sometimes people feel like a terrible person for finding joy in a world that sucks, but let's be real, the world has kind of really always sucked. The world has kind of really always sucked. So just keep your head up and find happiness in the things that bring you joy, because you know what, if there's one thing that I can like tell you guys right now is do not let this shitty world take away your joy. It's not worth it. And you know, it just sucks. But eventually, I don't know, eventually, like, hopefully in a few years we look back at 2026 and we're like, yeah, that year sucked, but you know, it was fine in the end. I'm really praying for that. We'll see how delulu I am come 2027, I guess. But I just like, thank you guys, you know, thank you guys for being here too, because I know I yap a lot and a lot of times I feel like I'm saying a lot, but not actually like meaning a lot, if that makes sense. So I don't know, just to thank you guys. But with all that being said, I actually might go start a writing blog. I really want to write, so that's kind of concerning, but this is what happens when I read more and I'm really inspired by all the books I'm reading, is that I want to write. So that's gonna be fine. I do think, you guys, we're gonna get to a point, and it's probably gonna happen the rest of today and for like this next weekend, is I'm really gonna try to focus on books that I've already started, that I'm already most of the way through. So I really like, I haven't talked about the Hall of Gods in this vlog, but I really should start making it a goal to read this. This is not going to take me long. The Archive, not going to take me long. This is the one that I'm most concerned about, but I really want to finish this month. Like, that is like, I don't think that was the second book that I really needed to fit onto my TBR, but that is definitely a book that I'm like, I don't want to go one more month without reading it, because I know it's going to be a favorite of all time, and I've just been pushing it off for no reason. So, and then we have The Prison Healer that I'm about halfway through. So I need to do that. I also, you guys, I have not put in any of my books that I finished recently into Realmathon, the Realmathon tracker. So I need to do that. I need to still put in Just Friends, I'm Glad My Mom Died, and Watermoon. I know that I finished the first book. Oh, Fireborn. I know that I finished Fireborn, but like I kind of said already, I believe we aren't going to count that because, you know, I had like 40 pages left max. So yeah, let's get back into reading, I guess. Hi besties, what's up? Okay, so it is Monday the next week. I don't remember when the last time I talked to you guys was. I think it was when I finished Watermoon, which, love that book. It is so good. I'm so glad that I read it. I have actually read finished 4 books since we last spoke. I did this all during the Gala of Peace portion of the readathon, which is in between the 13th and the 15th. I read all of these books, and that either got double, like, what I think it's double points. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I read 4 books that I have been meaning to get to for a while. 2 for sure. One was kind of a whim, if you will. Like, I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, you know, that's short. I want to see what that's all about. It seems good. And then we have one that I forgot that I even got, to be honest. I bought it for a Patreon buddy read of sorts, and then I just, yeah, totally forgot that I had it. So let's talk about the first book that I finished. Actually, first let's have a little conversation. Okay, so I have been floating around the idea of creating a writing channel because I've always wanted to be an author. Ever since I was little, that's all I've ever wanted to do. And I'm finally pulling the trigger. I don't know when you're seeing this video in relation to when my writing vlogs are going to start coming out, but I have a new writing channel. I will link it down below if you guys are interested. No pressure. You don't have to go over there if you don't want to, but I will be doing writing content over there. With that being said, let's talk about the first book that I read during the Gala of Peace event, and that was A Dark and Cold Touch by Megan E. Hart. In this book, we follow Estelle, and Estelle is actually on her way to become this handmaid for this very prestigious person. Due to the fact that her family found out something that is very shameful to them about her, and so they decided to send her off. But when Estelle gets there, she realizes pretty quickly that things may not be as they seem, especially with the headmistress of the house, who she's taking care of and kind of befriending throughout the book. She realizes that maybe things aren't all that they seem, but no one will give her answers. So she kind of has to get close to this mistress and kind of figure out what on earth is going on and why everybody acts so weird around her, so secretive around her. All of that. One thing I really liked about this book, I felt like the writing was pretty good. I feel like it was good at getting the dark, gothic, atmospheric setting down. I feel like that was pretty good. I will say, unfortunately, we're probably going to hear this about the next 2 books, but I feel like this book could have been slightly longer. I feel like it would have benefited from that. I'm not saying it needed to be like 500 pages necessarily, but I do think an extra 10-20 pages before everything kind of went crazy would have been very beneficial to this book. I also, the FMC, Estelle, she, how do I say this? If you are someone that she's attracted to and you breathe air around her, she's gonna get turned on. And it kind of got old the amount of times I would read and she looked at me and I saw the curve of her clavicle and I was beside myself. Like, the amount that she sexualized things that truly didn't need to be sexualized kind of took me out of the story and kind of got to me a little bit. Nothing wrong with being attracted to people, obviously. Oh, sorry, Makenzie, you don't need to move your phone. Nothing wrong with being attracted to the people that you're attracted to and finding them sexy or whatever, but it was just a lot. I also feel like the relationship that bloomed in this book kind of came out of nowhere, and the ending definitely, I feel like, came out of nowhere. It was just like, it went 0 to 100 so quickly. I was not expecting it to happen. We got a very cute epilogue. I enjoyed the epilogue. Overall, I did like the book. I think that if it is something you're interested in, knowing all those things, I would read it, honestly. But if those aren't things, especially like the cons of this book, aren't things that you're interested in, I maybe would skip it. It was on Ever and Unlimited, so that was like my main reason for picking it up, besides the fact that it's marketed as like a dark gothic romance on there. I will say that I would really like to read other books by Megan E. Hart. I feel like maybe I would like other ones better, but I did enjoy it. So like I said, I'm glad I read it, but I don't know, would I buy a copy and read it again? Probably not. On Goodreads, I rated it a 3-star, but on Fable and Storygraph, I rated it 2.75 stars. It didn't give me what I wanted it to give me personally, but that's okay. Next we have Adrift in Currents Clean. I feel like I must have forgotten words when I was writing this down, but it's by Shannon McGuire. This is the 10th book in her Wayward Children series, and up until this point, I have pretty much really enjoyed the Wayward Children series, I will be honest. There are a couple books, probably like in any series, that is kind of like a serialized book, if you will, because that's kind of what it feels like, is, yeah, we're breaking up books that could be full-length novels into shorter books. And this is another book that honestly I wish we would have had a little bit more time. So in this book we follow Nadia, and Nadia is from Russia. She was actually in a Russian orphanage, and because of her big heart and her kind and caring compassion towards the other kids in this book, she was kind of living a very happy and fulfilled life even though she was in an orphanage. However, one day, these Americans come to save the day, as we seem to think that we can do. I don't know about that, but they come to save the day, and essentially what ends up happening because of this is these parents, instead of loving Nadia for who she is, they kind of love her because of the idea that they've created about her in their head, if that makes sense. So they love the idea of her, but not her in general. And Nadia's special interest is turtles. I don't really know how else to say that, but what really kickstarts the story is she sees a turtle that she feels like needs help, and basically what this does is this transfers her to this world full of big green sea turtles that you can ride on, stuff like that. And she learns how things that may have hurt her that her parents did to her, or kind of alluded to, if that makes sense, if they were gone about a different way, maybe it wouldn't have affected her the way that it did. This book was really good. Like, I'm really glad that I decided to continue on with the series. The next book that we're talking about is book number 11 in the series. I really liked it. I really liked the adventure that we went on. I love seeing the worlds that Shannon McGuire comes up with. I truly, you guys, could read like a 300-page book on for every installment of the series. Obviously this one was not 300 pages, it was like 180, but I could read a 300-400 page novel on each of the worlds that we are introduced to in this series. I feel like there are so many opportunities that Shannon McGuire has to break off and kind of give us a full-length story. I will say, it's pretty evident how a lot of the books that start with people falling into their doors, how it's going to end. For the most part, it's kind of like, in a sense, kind of predictable, if you will. And man, just like the ending made me so upset, made me feel for Nadia on a whole different level. I feel like she deserved so much more than she got. And man, I would have loved to not see what happens at the majority of the end of these world books happen. I would have loved to see that not happen to her. But it's okay. All in all, I rated this one a 4-star. Again, a very solid installment of the series. I will say, man, I will say this until I'm blue in the face probably. I wish they were longer. And I'm surprised to say that because once upon a time when I read Every Heart a Doorway, which is the first book in the series, I loved it. I thought it was the perfect length, but I do think that these books would mostly all benefit from being just 50 to 100 pages longer. Next, I read Through Gates of Garnet and Gold, also by Shauna McGuire, 11th book in the Wayward Children series, and this book follows Nancy. Now, we've actually gotten to see Nancy quite a few times in the series. I love Nancy as a character. I love her. In fact, I believe that book 1 started out with a Nancy plotline, if I'm not mistaken. But this is Nancy's second door that she's gone through, and something is kind of coming out of the dark and killing people. And in this world that she's in, basically what they do is the alive stand still like statues to kind of like be the entertainment, I guess you could say, or be the decoration for the undead. But when the undead start killing them and eating them one by one, the mistress, or like the head of this, the mistress of this world sends Nancy to go get help, and soon before everybody that they love in this door gets killed. I love seeing the dynamic between all the different characters. I feel like they are so interesting. I also loved some of the stuff that was alluded to in this book. I cannot wait for a Chris book. I don't know why we have not gotten a Chris book. That is like my one request. There was also somebody that came into the story that I was not really expecting to see in here. I will say, I didn't feel this way at first, but the more that this character pops up, the more that I just want to strangle this character. I have really come to dislike her, and she was dislikable in the first book, but she's very dislikable in the rest of the series as well. I think that the lead up, I'm pretty certain on who the next book is going to be about. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but there was kind of a more quiet, subdued character, and I do have a feeling that that's who the next book is going to be about. Overall, I rated this one a 4-star as well. I really liked it. Again, the length. I just wish that they were longer just a little bit, but that's okay. And last but not least, I actually picked this book up on quite a whim. Actually, I did not realize that I had the audiobook for it, but I picked up the audiobook for The Witch at the End of the World, and for some reason I did not write the author's name. Obviously all these covers are going to be next to me, but in this book we follow our main character Valina. Oh my gosh, I need a drink. I'm talking fast so my throat doesn't get dry, but my throat is still getting dry. All right, Valina. Valina is actually a fae folk in this world, and I don't remember what they call the fae creatures or anything, but she has actually been enslaved to this evil man for as long as she can remember, and she finally was able to make the great escape. And in her biggest, most desperate moment of need, she actually stumbles upon this cottage, and it is known as the Witch's Cottage. And she decides to go in there for one last Hail Mary in hopes that maybe someone can help her. Maybe she can hide out in the cottage until whoever owns it gets back. But what she doesn't expect is for a man to show up at her door and basically beg her on his hands and knees to create her a potion so that the person that he is supposed to get married to will either not want to marry him anymore or not go through with the wedding. And we kind of go from there. This book is very cozy, I will say. I'm a little bummed there was like no sprinkles of romance in this book, but I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. I feel like this was the perfect length for this book. I do wish this is part of a series, and the second book it seems like follows somebody else. I do truly wish that this was a book just following, or a book series just following Valina. I really like her as a main character, and if you haven't seen this cover, do yourself a favor, and I mean, I guess look at the screen if you aren't already. I love this cover. I love the main character. She's so cute. I love how she just finds peace and solace. Even though she's had a really crappy life up to this point, she finds a lot of solace and happiness in helping other people and making their lives better, and it's so great. I really loved it. I think I ended up rating this one a 3-star. I will say, there were just a couple things. I wish there was a romance. I don't know what I was expecting going into this book, but I was just kind of hoping there was a little bit of a romance. We didn't really get closure, if that makes sense. That's why I kind of thought that the second book would be following Valina as well, because while we got enough closure to make a satisfying ending, I just don't feel like that's the end of her story, if that makes sense. I feel like there's more to Valina than meets the eye. I feel like there's more to her story, that we're just kind of at the tippy top of the iceberg, if that makes sense. Very cute, very heartwarming. I really enjoyed it. I will say, and this is definitely one that I think if I went back and reread, now knowing like the full scope of the story and knowing what to expect, I do think that this would be a lot higher of a rating than the 3 stars it's currently at. I am heavily considering buying it. I I'm heavily considering buying it. I enjoyed it. So those are the 4 books that I read during Gala Peace, and I had a really good time. I'm really glad that I ended up finishing all of them. As you guys can see, it was a really successful reading weekend. I'm gonna be honest. I loved everything that I read. Even, you know, the ones that I rated a little bit lower, I didn't love A Dark Cold Touch, but I loved everything else for the most part. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, like, I haven't even screenshotted anything for Realmathon, so I apologize for that. I will try to remember to put everything in this vlog up till this point. We're gonna cross our fingers and toes that happens, okay? Because it's been a rough one. Remembering to screenshot everything and remembering what I did. I really should be talking you guys through it as I am putting in points. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this week of reading. I don't really know how many books I ended up finishing. I will say next week, like, I really got to lock in. I feel like I keep saying that I'm going to, and it's probably annoying at this point to hear me say that. But at this point, although I'm not as far behind as I was at probably the midpoint of last week, I really need to sit down and start getting through books because we are still behind. I don't really know how far behind we are right now. I should have looked on Goodreads before I came on here and updated you guys, but I will put it on the screen how many books I need to read to catch up as of today. So, but with all that being said, I think that is all I have to talk to you guys about. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you've made it this far, I think there's a castle emoji. Leave a castle emoji and a turtle emoji. Castle for Realmathon, turtle for Adrift and Currents clean and clear and clean. I mean, surely that is not the end of that. And let me know what your favorite book of the month has been so far, if you want something to chat about. At this point, I'm pretty sure that my favorite book of the month that I have finished so far is Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambao. I loved that book. I'm really glad that I read it. So with all that being said, thank you all for watching the video. If you like me, if you like my face, hit the like button. If you want to see my face again, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, honestly, I'd follow me on Instagram. That's where you're going to get all the first updates. But if you don't have an Instagram, cross your fingers, hope the notification bell works. And with all that being said, I will see you cuties in the next one very, very soon. Bye, everyone.